Alrighty, so it is currently 5:59 on this fine Saturday afternoon, or night. What would that be considered? Friday night? Saturday night?
I mean, it's dark, so
it's dark. So
probably
it's Saturday night. It's not Friday night, it's Saturday night. And if you guys haven't seen, about, I would say 3 months ago, I surprised my little brother, one of my two little brothers, with surprising him with the red third gen you guys have recently seen all over my channel. Everybody loves the truck, minus it is two different colors, but besides the point. And that leaves me with one brother that I haven't surprised. And I don't know, I have this thing to where if I do something for one of my brothers, I have to do the same exact thing equally for the other brother. Well, the youngest brother of the three of us, he is 17 years old now. He is driving around a Chevy Tahoe. This thing was perfectly running and driving when he got it. Now the heat barely works. The transmission only has first and second gear, and the wheels are about to fall off of it. So for about the past, I would say, week now, my brother stumbled across this beautiful 02 Dodge Ram 3500 extended cab long bed dually, second gen of course. And every day he just keeps looking at this truck, and he asked me if I could message the guy because somehow he got busted on Facebook Marketplace. He was probably lowballing everybody and their brothers. So that left him unable to message on Facebook and buy anything. He has been saving money for quite a while now to buy a truck. He just needed a little bit more to buy this truck. So I ended up finding the listing on Facebook. I messaged the dude, talked to him for about a day or two, and right now we are currently 20 minutes away from this guy's location to where this truck is at. We're about 2.5, 3 hours from my house, from the shop. And if all goes planned, we will be going home with a truck to surprise my little brother with. And I'm hoping this truck is what this guy told me it was in the photos and on the phone. I really don't want to buy something that's a 100% project. I know that the truck does need a transfer case, which isn't that big of a deal. Like I was saying, as long as everything goes well with buying this truck, we will be going home with it. Unfortunately, I wasn't thinking this through, and I brought my car trailer for some reason that has a very, very light load capacity on it. I probably should have brought my gooseneck, but this all came together in the matter of like 2 hours of messaging the guy, and I got impatient. I went to the bank, and now we are headed to damn near Wisconsin. And yeah, so as long as the truck's as good as it is and the trailer doesn't blow an axle or blow the tires out of it on the way home, we should be fine. The trailer is brand new, so it might just have that one, 200-mile trip in it, but then after that, we probably shouldn't put this on there again. So yeah, we should be back home with a second-gen Cummins in about 3 hours. I feel like a high school kid again, like the last second before I get to where I'm going to buy my first diesel truck, and we were literally 0.5 miles away in 1 minute, and like I'm starting to get excited. Like, to me, this is fun, but like it really doesn't set in to like right before the moment I'm going to give it to him. I just pray that everything is going to go smooth and that it all goes as planned, because recently things have not been going as planned. As you guys can tell, the mega cab transmission decided it wanted to do what it did. The lift kit has taken me like 3 weeks to get done. Yeah, I'm very busy, and last thing I need is to be wasting time. Oh, we are about to blow past it. That is crazy. Okay, it is freezing outside, and surprisingly, I now have another second gen, and this thing is sick. It is dark right now, but has traction bars on it, leveling kit, gooseneck baller ready, transfer tanks at the back. My other brother was dying for the transfer tank, and now we have another transfer tank, so that's cool. Probably end up kicking that bumper off of it, and once we get to the shop, we'll clean it all up, get it looking good, and yeah, but it's freezing, so I'm gonna load this thing up, and we'll catch you guys at the shop. So we just got back to the shop, and unfortunately, my trailer lights took a shit, and that was unfortunate. So let's turn those lights on the trailer. But that trailer is brand new, and this truck is brand new, so why that's not working, I don't know. But I'm going to walk into the shop right now and show my little brother this truck, because I want to see his reaction before we give it to our little brother. So let's go in here and see what his reaction is to it. I think for a 17-year-old's first truck, that is a pretty good setup for him. Ready to come see the new unit?
I am.
Some slight.
Pretty sweet.
It's not bad.
Why do they all cut it out right here?
That needs replaced. That looks like they cracked, and we'll find some new ones for him. That way they're nice and clean and perfect. But for his first diesel truck, he can't really complain. Interior's nice. Hit the horn works. Not a bad little 2G, huh? Well, we need to put this thing inside the shop somehow and hide it from my brother until we get everything done to it. Oh, good morning. Well, we now own a 2002 Ram 3500 extended cab long bed dually. And it's like a Texas truck right now because it has this ugly ass front bull bar on it. I actually just took the rear bumper off the back. I am working right now on getting the new transfer case inside of it. Luckily, I was able to score one on Marketplace last minute, and I had a friend who was literally right by where it was, so he brought that back to me. We put the jump box on it because the batteries are dead. I will probably go and buy some new batteries, replace those if they don't hold a charge. But the plan with it is I want to take off the front bumper, the front bush guard, the grill, buy new stuff of that just lines up better because these bumpers are hideous. But if I can't find one, I'll get this bumper realigned, get it set up to where it looks good for him. This truck is a perfect start for my brother. Being that he's 17 years old, he'll be able to learn everything that needs to be done to second gens, learn how to work on them. He is pretty smart as it is. He has helped me in the past, but now that he has his own truck, he will now have to fix his own truck if something happens to it. That's the way I was raised. If I broke something, I had to fix it, and that's pretty much how I learned everything that I know now. And now I have trucks into 100 different pieces. But right now we're working on getting the transfer case swapped out onto it. I just sent my other brother to the auto parts store. He is going to buy a new track bar for the front end, get new oil, filter, trans fluid, washer fluid, and a couple odds and ends that we've seen that it needed. After I get the transfer case installed, I'm going to pull the mud flaps off of it. And then like I was just saying, I already got the rear bumper, that hideous thing, off the truck. Have to find the license plate holder. I should have one in my boxes of parts. Get that on there, get a plate on this truck for him, new rear bumper. I am going to take the transfer tank and the headache rack out of the back just because that is not needed. He is just going to be driving it to school every day, then probably out partying with his friends and to work. And yeah, hopefully he doesn't have the second gen problems of these things not wanting to start inside the winter time. So now that I think about that, I probably will get new batteries because yeah, I already have one brother I have to go help every other day get his truck started, and I'm not trying to have two of them problems. So really quick, I'm going to throw in the transfer case like I was just saying, and then once that's complete, I will see how this thing runs and drives. I know it needs a track bar on it before I go drive it anywhere, and then we'll get into taking off the front bumper and all the other stuff. Transfer case is in, and the truck moves. It does have a blown trans line right where the transfer case snapped. I would assume that the drive shaft came up, clipped the trans line. Not a big deal. We are about to get that done. Why are you putting washer fluid inside of it when we haven't even got the trans line fixed?
There's only two.
Yeah, well, top off the washer fluid for him. Quick oil change, flush the trans, flush the T-case. Get all the fluids perfect inside this thing. But how about the old T-case? That thing is definitely got no more miles on it. And I've done this once before on my gray second gen, the little one I had that matches my big truck now. And I made it home from Iowa like that. I actually stopped at a Home Depot, I think in, Nebraska. But I stopped at Home Depot in Iowa when it blew. I bought it a Sawzall, plugged it into their store. I cut the chain out of it, and I wedged metal inside the gear. That way the gear would still spin the drive shaft. I made it home 5.5 hours with no T-case fluid. It was 2 degrees outside, so the temperature probably kept the transfer case cool. But yeah, that is not good. We'll have to find a front drive shaft for him too. But I might have one in the pile of my parts back at the house. So really quick, I'm gonna drain the oil, drain the trans fluid, get a new filter on it, fill up the motor with new oil, flush the trans fluid out of it, and we will be ready to start working on getting some of this wiring cleaned up. I have to figure out how the Quadzilla hooks up and get that onto my phone. That way when I give him this truck, I can show him how all of that works. I did have one of these Quadzillas back in the day, and I just know you can crank these things up to the absolute moon and it will smoke. This truck has a Quadzilla on it, and that truck, I don't know why, but it moves out the way. Fresh oil filter for you. We have the drain pan underneath the truck, got the oil draining, just drained out the trans fluid. The T-case is empty as well, and we are now putting the new oil filter on. We'll top it off with oil. fix the trans line leak. That should be very easy. Go ahead and top the trans off with trans fluid, and then once all that's complete, we'll go take it on his first drive after we get this ugly ass front bumper off this thing. We should leave the cat plate on it for him, Ethan. What do you think? So then he feels like he's a heavy equipment operator. Okay, so we got the truck running, no leaks, transmission heats up perfectly, coolant temperature stays cool where it needs to be. The truck already has new rotors, calipers, and pads on it. I got down there and looked at it. But when the transfer case blew out with the previous owner, it took out the trans line, the brake line, and some other little tiny stuff that we fixed. So trans sensor, all brand new, works perfect, no leaks. But you know, I was bleeding the brakes last night, and I was like, dude, why is there still air inside of these things when I drive it? Well, if you guys know anything about brakes and stuff, I don't think that bleeder right there should be at the bottom. Calipers are on the wrong side. So that caliper's for that side, that caliper's for that side. So now we're gonna take all the tires off the back really quick, and we'll be able to take the calipers off and then swap them around, and we should have good brakes. Okay, so long story short, we are driving the Cummins. This thing actually rolls out very nice down the highway. Besides it needs a little bit of an alignment, I'm not an alignment expert, but I do know how to get the steering wheel semi-straight, and I think I did that. We replaced the panhard bar up front. We tightened up all the steering components. We greased everything. That all looked good. Obviously, it could probably use crossover steering. We will end up making that for him, but I want to be able to teach him how to do everything to this truck, so I don't want to go too far with it. Trust me, guys, I know. The urge I have right now to go buy wheels and tires, a lift kit, 5-inch exhaust, turbo, all that stuff is real. But yeah, what's the fun in him having a diesel truck if he gets it and everything's already done? We put the new transfer case inside of it, new neutral safety switch on the trans. I replaced the transmission line and the brake line that the drive shaft hit when this T-case exploded. Went ahead, we got the calipers facing the right way on the truck because whoever owned this truck before must not have any brains when it comes to putting brakes on a truck. And this thing literally stops on the dime now. I almost put the filmer inside the windshield. But tightened up the rear hubs. We filled up all the axle with fresh fluid, transfer case, transmission, engine oil, washer fluid, the whole nine. Everything on the truck has new fluid and filters. And currently we are headed up to Infinite Customs to get this thing all detailed. For some reason as well, the radio is not radioing. And depending on how busy they are, I might have them look at that. I know he had just bought a brand new head unit for his Tahoe. So I'll probably leave the head unit inside of it, just get the door speakers all working, that way he can swap his head unit into it. And then, yeah, it has a Quadzilla tuner on it that I have no idea how to figure out. I'm used to just clicking a button up here and this thing having tunes, but that is not the case here. So, yeah, the first thing he's probably going to do is put like Darden hose injectors inside of it, like 200 horsepower injectors. He'll end up ripping the trans out of it because he has a heavy foot. Actually, his foot's a lot heavier than mine, and I have a heavy foot. So, we're going to stop at Raising Cane's first because we are by Infinite, and that is the best place to eat. After that, we're going to go ahead, get to their shop, get this thing all detailed, and we will go from there. So we scored some nice wheel liners from the junkyard, and we got a new front bumper for it. Unfortunately, I could not find a perfect rear bumper in time, but Brandon's impatient and he wants to get this truck to his little brother. So we got a rear bumper for it. It has one dent on it, but end of the day, he will be able to swap that out. We can order him a new one, or I know as soon as he gets this truck with a new body on it or whatever he does to it, he is going to want to make it match this truck. And this thing has Road Rhino bumpers on it. And personally, the rear bumper on this truck is sick. I'm not a fan of big bumpers, but he's always talked about wanting this bumper. I really considered taking the body off of this truck and slapping onto that, but my friends and my other brother told me that was a dumb idea because this truck is in one piece. It'll start up. Maybe not right now because the second engine is cold, but that one will start up, run and drive perfect. And we really don't want to sacrifice this truck right this second. But if my brother cons me into it, I probably would give him the body off this truck, and I would paint it a way different color when I bought a new body. But for now, got the bumper. We also scored a bed liner for it because the inside of this bed isn't bad, but with a fresh bed liner inside of it, it will look a lot better. So right now, I'm gonna wrap up some things I have to do. They're gonna work on getting everything dialed in. Vacuum it out one last time because we kind of got a little dirty coming home from Infinite yesterday. And then after that, we will, sorry, I got sidetracked. What are you doing? Come on. The cat likes the truck. All right, so we got the engine all cleaned up. We replaced the master cylinder on it and the hydro boost because that kind of
It was leaking.
wasn't good. We threw a new front bumper on it. Well, new for the truck, I should say. Made sure all the lights work. Went through the whole entire interior. We got that all detailed up. And of course, we got thanks for coming in. Floor mats inside of it. This thing is like perfect interior now, especially with this new seat bottom. And he should be pretty excited once he gets into a second gen Cummins versus a Chevy Tahoe with only second gear. Luckily, this one shifts through all the gears, so he shouldn't have no problems going down the highway. And this has a trailer brake controller, gooseneck ball inside the bed, and that means when my truck breaks down or my brother's truck breaks down, he'll be able to come save us with the gooseneck because, yeah, the fourth gen does not like to stay on the road. And neither does Ethan's third gen recently. But all the lights work on the whole entire bed, which is impressive because a lot of second gens I have, the lights usually don't want to work, and all of these ones do. So, tail lights, everything, rear bumpers on it, tires are all cleaned up, traction bars down there look amazing. But we just called my brother and said, hey, come to the shop, and yeah, so he should definitely be geeked because he hasn't been allowed to come here like the last 3 days. And when he gets here, we'll open up this big giant barn door, and then out this second gen Cummins will roll. And I'm kind of like thinking about how his reaction will be because I don't know. And he's either going to cry, he's either going to say he hates it, he's either going to say he loves it, or he's going to not believe me. So, to him, pull him up. So now we got to figure out how to get this thing to start. That one's definitely not going to start. And it's freezing, dude. Why are you wearing pajamas?
Just got out of bed.
I need a battery charger. Open the door! Oh my God. What do you think?
I don't even know what to say.
You're gonna need this. You now have a second gen. And you put in your name, you go ahead and register it, put plates on it. You can do J24V since all of ours got our initials. And here's the dually you've been wanting. Okay, the night you had Ethan's truck, I was making sure you weren't coming home because I didn't want you to see this. But when we were messaging the guy, I told you I'd loan you the money, I'd already bought the truck. Now you have a second gen Cummins. And it's got a full tank of gas. It has new oil, new coolant, new trans fluid, a new transfer case, and every fluid's brand new on it. It's got all brand new brakes on it. We have done a lot of work the last 3 days, and nobody ever hit the barn like I was telling you.
Yeah,
And nobody was
like
ever mad
scared.
at you.
I was like, shit myself. I was like, no way he thinks it was me.
Pop the hood so you can see what you're working with. Look at the interior too. We also put a new seat bottom on it for you because you know the 2Gs always have it. Hop up in there. Tell me how comfy that seat is.
Damn.
That's not what you were expecting today?
Hell no.
Now you see why I was getting you to get off work?
Yeah.
Was it worth missing work today?
Yeah. We still going to dinner?
Yeah, we're going to dinner.
All right.
So what it is a 2002 24 valve Cummins, blah, blah, blah. So that means it has a good axles. If you come back here, you also have Fox shocks on the rear. And then you got the traction bars, all new calipers and rotors. And it's an 02, so it has disc brake rear axle. Not like the other second gen with drum brakes.
I feel like I'm in a dream right now.
Here, hold this. That makes it a lot better than going to work, huh? You had no idea?
I need to drive this thing. Yeah, no, like, damn.
No blow by. It runs amazing. You got the big ass filter on there. A Quadzilla, you got to figure out how to use that because I don't have the app on my phone. But yeah, it should be a very fun truck for you to build. We'll go down to Florida. You can get parts for it, whatever you want to do. Lift it, wheels and tires.
I want to like cry, bro.
You want to cry?
Yeah.
Check this out. Horn works on the 2G. Give it some gas. Little comments.
And it's 4-wheel drive.
4x4 everything. What do you say? Take it on a drive?
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's go. Little 2G.
Hell yeah.
That feels better than the Tahoe.
Fuck yeah.
So we'll take it for a spin, like to the end of the driveway and back. You can come back, you can take all your stuff out of the Tahoe, slap it in here, slap your head unit inside of it, and you'll be ready to roll. Does it feel real?
No, not at all.
You didn't think I was up to something at all? I played that shit off pretty smooth, huh?
You did. Because, like, you called me and I was like, I don't know if he wants to talk to me about that barn door or what, but.
So long story short, I basically said somebody hit the barn, and until somebody owns up, nobody is allowed here. And I pretty much made it seem like everyone thought it was Jaden. So for the last 3 days, he's been stressing out thinking that everyone doesn't like him, but really we were just getting this truck ready for you. This is the same exact truck you're looking at on the marketplace.
Damn.
That you wanted so bad. Doesn't look the same because we changed out the bumpers.
I seen
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the back bumper. Because it had like that,
We still have that if you want to put it back on, but it's not good.
Bumper.
We spent the last 3 days working on this. We spent all morning in the freezing cold at junkyards finding parts for it.
Yeah, because you told me you're going to get 4 axles for that blue truck, but I was like, he shaved the axles down, but maybe he wants to go a different route. So I was like, maybe.
How do the brakes work? Oh yeah, they stop.
Yeah, they do.
It don't stop like a 2G. If you want, you just pull up here, back up, and go back by the shop. Then we'll get your stuff out of the Tahoe, and you will be ready to roll. You riding with us to dinner, or you driving this to dinner?
Hell no, I'm with this fucker.
He got everything swapped out. I made him go home actually and change because the pajama pants just weren't cutting it for me. And how was your first drive in the Cummins?
Like it.
It's a lot better than the Tahoe, huh?
Yeah, it actually shifts too.
He got the radio out of the Tahoe, and he is working on getting that put in tomorrow. He's gonna go up to Infinite. They're gonna install it for him. And he already texted me and said, hey, can I do a burnout with this thing? I said, you can do whatever you want with it, but it is still a second gen. And from my experience, don't do burnouts in second gens until you at least get a built trans or a 6-speed, which eventually he is going to want to swap out the transmission to a 6-speed. We were already talking about that. That would make this truck 100 times better. But with all that being said, he loves the truck. And without you guys supporting the channel and following along with all the builds, none of this would have been possible. So that's going to end today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.